Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Winston, and today we're gonna do something crazy. So we're gonna be analyzing a exe file. So I received this exe file from a person I don't know, and I had no intention of actually running the exe because I don't trust it. I know I could run it on a virtual machine to see what it actually does, but then I'm having a feeling that it's malware, and with like most malwares, when you run them, they don't actually display a console or actually do anything. They just work in the background. So that makes it difficult for you to actually know what's going on. So instead of running this on a virtual machine, I decided to take the exe and transfer it to my Kali machine and actually analyze it using strings to see what it's doing. And we're gonna do that together, okay? So this is the exe, and now I renamed it. This is not its original name. I did that because I'm gonna be typing the name most of the time. So I and the name is actually long. The original name rather is long, and I don't want to just to help my hands and to save my time and your time as well. So I want to have the name shortened. So that's why I did that. So we could actually have a short name and save time and so that's for that. So now we're gonna start off by searching for anything that involves passwords, just to see if this EX does it steal passwords? Does it have passwords? Like what's going on? So malware often they have test credentials or like actual credentials or default or actually stolen data. So let's see what we could find. So the command we're gonna use today is called strings, like I said before. So hold on, I think I have it. So strings. So we're gonna do grep, just see what's inside. No, let's not do that. Let's do grep. Let's do pass. See if they have any. So yep, they have a string in the pass. Pat has a password called password 123. So looks like we got lucky on the first try, and then there's a string that has a password 123. That's a weak password, but it is a password, and some people still use that today. So that looks like a default credential that's hard coded into the payload. So it could be used to log into an internal admin panel or a rat or whatever the case may be, but that's just a password that they put there. And I'm guessing the person who made the malware was the one who put it there. Okay, so this is not a stolen password, it's just something that they put there. I don't know for what. Okay. And now the next thing I want to check is if this file generates or uses a victim token. Okay, and token helps attackers track unique infections across machines, just like C2s. So when it generates a token, that's the way an attacker will be able to like um list the machines and like keep track. If you've ever seen a C2 before, some of them are numbered, like victim one, victim two, victim three. That is being done by a token. Okay, so let's see if this actually has a token. So again, we'll do strings, malware.exe. I'll erase this and I'll do token. See if it has a placeholder for token right there. And there you go. It does have a placeholder for token. So that's a session identifier used by the attacker to label its victim, right? So it likely gets sent to the CC, the command and control server during check-ins. This proves that the malware is designed to scale. So now we haven't even gone deep into analyzing the malware. We've already seen some cool stuff that lets us know that this is a badass malware. Okay. So now we've already established that. The next thing I would like to check is um, let's see if there's a C2 domain involved, let's look for any communication endpoint. So most malware talk to a C2, right? So that's a server controlled by the attacker. So if this malware reaches out, we'll find a domain here. Okay, so if it's made to reach out, because some malwares are made to reach out like every 2 minutes, every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, or sometimes every second. It depends on how it's being made. So again, we'll raise this and use a keyword called spy check. Okay, spy check the net upload API admin email backdoor spy check .net. All right, so as you can see it, let me zoom in so you can see it more. So now we have this. It's not looking good. It's not looking good at all, right? So this file is meant to upload data to a remote endpoint, and if that domain is active, the malware could still be active. So yeah, it's bad. So this is what that's what the call is for, to upload files to that endpoint. And if it's active, then the malware is still going to be active. But once the domain dies, then the malware is useless. I've seen malwares like this where they always do constant checks to a domain to see if the domain is up, and if the domain is up, then they keep running. But if it's down, then they just stop. It's like a kill switch, stuff like that. So the only if that's like a malware that's like spreading fast, only way to take to kill it or to take it down is actually to disable that domain. So if you could hack into that domain and like try to like have it shut down, then there you go. That's the trick, right? So now let me clear my screen so we have more room to do my analysis. So now let's see if the file contains any exfiltration scripts. Okay. Attackers, they often use curl, the curl command, to send stolen files. I think we already saw that. But let me use string just so you actually have it on the screen. Yeah, we saw that before, but yeah. So yeah, it is sending some files. You could see that now. That it's sending some files to the attacker, right? And obviously I have it in mind. I know for a fact that the malware modifies the registry. But just so you could see it, we could actually just do registry. Hold on, registry. And you see, it's modifying the registry, the HU software, Windows run, health sync. Okay, so that's a wrong key right there. That's a wrong key. And it tells Windows to execute this malware at startup. So it has capabilities to run on startup. So once the victim reboots the system, it's still gonna come alive. Okay, it's not gonna die. So this means the malware is not a one-time hit. So as long as the PC is up and running, malware is up and running too. That's with like most, I'll say all, but like most malwares, they have that capability as well. So and also net once now I'd like to check is what I check when I'm always analyzing malware is I want to see if the malware is attached or is after a specific file or a specific folder, you know, and strings will help you do this. So you just use string and just take this out and just put, hold on, C, just like Windows. Yeah, I already have it here. I've done it before. Yeah, so yeah, so that's yeah, C victim. So I guess they know. I don't know if they why they have victim here. Should be just some people. So this might not work, right? Because it's not gonna find this. But then I believe that the malware should have, because some malwares have this function where they could actually run a command on the victim's machine to actually determine the username, and they replace this with a username, so they could actually eventually get all this. So if they, I believe if they want they find try to find this and they can't find it, they just replace this with the actual username and then just keep it pushing. So yeah, there's no big deal. But yeah, it's after a folder called finance. Yeah, that's bad. So we could see that they're after a folder. So now another thing or another feature that malware have is beacon behavior, right? So we could check for a beaconing behavior. It's a common tactic with rats. So where they always send beacons home to await instructions, like kind of check like, hey, do you want me to do something? Like what's going on? So they constantly send a beacon to actually see like what's going on. Let's see if they have that tabs. Come on, beacon. All right, so that's a beacon command initialize beacon true dot beacon ini. Okay, so yeah, we have that. So this file regularly sends check-ins to the attacker. So it's always checking in live, but I don't know how like the time frame, but it's always checking in. So that allows the C2 to know if it's still online or if it's already offline. A lot of C2 have that function where they could actually tell you if the malware is still running on the system, if it's online or if it's offline. usually it will tell you offline if the victim's PC is powered off. So if it's that's the only time it should tell you like offline, but when it's on, it should be like, oh yeah, it's online because it has capability to run on startup. So yeah, and another thing I love to check is, mind you, analyzing EXE does take a while, but I'm gonna try to speed it up so I don't take much of your time. You know, so some malwares they log activity and they send that back to the attacker. So they log activity, and the only way to check that is you just it's easy. Just type log. That's why I love string. It looks for the strings in the malware. Sorry, log. There you go. Task log, keystroke, screenshot. Okay. So that's likely a temporary file where it stores captured data. So could be keystrokes, mouse clicks, keyboard data. Sorry, clipboard data, anything. But we all know that it's storing stuff. It's a temporary folder, so it is storing some stuff. Right. So I guess that they have another string to actually put a different username. So I believe every Windows PC should have this public. But if, I don't know if every PC has it, but mine has it. So if I had ran the malware, I'll probably be infected, and it'd probably be bad for me. Okay, so that's how you could actually find that. And the last thing I will check today, but this is not all I do check when I analyze EXEs, is I check if there's a task automation. Is the malware automating the process, or is it like doing some kind of automation? Just to be on the safe side. So I search for any built-in tasks or instructions, right? These define like what the malware does when it infects the system. So what does it be automated to do? Okay. And we could just do tasks and tasks. Let's see. And there you go. It says screenshots, USB scan, directory listing. So this confirms that it's automated to spy, steal, and scan USBs. So then these are not random. So yeah, I've seen this multiple times before. This is like a common malware where they take screenshots of the person's screen, keystrokes, and stuff like that. So because sometimes some browsers have this protection, so whatever they can't capture with the keystrokes, they can see it on your screen. So it's like a sneaky way of actually stealing information. So yeah, so I believe at this point we could determine and finalize that this exe was malicious, and it was a good thing I did not run it. Okay. So more of this to come. Would analyze more files and just see what's going on. Sometimes I go on like the internet or the dark web, pull some exes down, just analyze them just so we could see what's going on. And I'll share that with you, and I'll make a video and upload that here. I'll appreciate it if you like, share, and subscribe just to keep it pushing. I'll see you next time. Stay safe.